And when it no longer became cheap, because I wanted my own private room, but they were going to charge me $580 a week, which, if you have any idea about Sydney, that is horrifically expensive, especially for a hostel. I could have moved into my own nice one-bedroom apartment for that. I am done. I am finished. Do you know, I can't express to you how happy I am to just be a personal trainer for a little bit. It has been one hell of a road, and I'm so thankful I'm done. So the past 2 months I've been working in a hostel and as a night manager. I've only been doing 1 day a week, granted, but I started at 11 p.m. on a Monday, and I would finish at about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, straight to the gym until about 1 in the afternoon, and it just ruined my entire sleep cycle all week long. It was absolutely awful. So I am so thankful to be done from that place. And what am I doing for work? Well, I was doing that very specifically because I was living in the hostel at the time, and I needed some cheap accommodation. The problem with Sydney is it's so flipping expensive. Like, I cannot express to you how expensive it is. I suppose living in any city is expensive, but I've been told that Sydney is particularly expensive. So when I got the opportunity to move out into a house share, I took that opportunity. It's lovely, you know. I've got a little garden. I'm basically by myself all the time. I've got my own kitchen. I only share with 2 other people who are absolutely lovely, and the sleep I've been getting is fantastic. Granted, right, so I'm right on Bondi Beach, and it is cold. It's the dead of winter at the moment, and for some people who live in a very cold country like myself, England is a lot colder than this place. It's still bloody cold here. I've acclimatized too quickly. I didn't think I would acclimatise this quickly. So it has been pretty horrific the past month how cold it is, and I feel like the summer's going to kill me just as much, being in 30-40 degree heat all the time. But I want to get to that stage. At the moment it's so cold, you know. I'm wearing pajamas to bed, which I've never done in my entire life. And pardon me, it's just horribly cold, but able to stay warm. Got a big fluffy coat, which is not mine. I just sort of stole it from my friend. He left it with me, and I was like, I'm having that. And he was like, yeah, that's fine, you can keep it. I was like, oh, really? So that's always nice. That's always really, really nice. Saved me some money on a nice big fluffy coat. And yeah, so obviously other than that, I am a PT at a gym called Edge Fit in Double Bay. If any of you, please come down. It'd be fantastic to see. Get you signed up, get you trained properly. And I've been there for probably the same time as the hostel, actually, about 2 months. I've been at the hostel 2 months. Like I said, I was working there for cheap accommodation, and when it no longer became cheap, because I wanted my own private room, but they were going to charge me $580 a week, which, if you have any idea about Sydney, that is horrifically expensive, especially for a hostel. I could have moved into my own nice one-bedroom apartment for that. And so I left, came into a house share, only $300 a week, lovely. And now from here I'm moving into a studio apartment in a place called Randwick, which is again absolutely lovely. And yeah, moving on from there, I'm so thankful to be gone from the hostel. So yeah, like I said, I would do that every Monday. However, they turned around to me and said, because you only work 1 day a week, can you work more? And I said no, flat out. And then they were like, okay, well, we need you to move into a room that shares with the other people who work here. And I said no. And they said, well, you have to do one of the two. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll work 6 shifts back to back to help cover everybody off on holiday. And they said, oh, fantastic. And at the same time, I went, here's my resignation. And they went, are you sure? Like, do you have to? You can only go back to 1 day a week. Like, they're so desperate for the help. What I feel like is every place you go to out here is desperate for the help. So if you are watching from somewhere outside of Australia and you've ever thought about coming here, now is the time. Get yourself a working holiday visa and get over here. You will walk into any job that you want, especially if you're in the construction trade of any kind. Everybody, like, the unemployment rate out here is so high, and it's absolutely ridiculous. I apologize about the wind if you can hear it. I should have put the flipping fluffy thing on, the wind brake, the wind noise canceller for the mic, so I apologize. Yes, and I've walked into pretty much any job that I wanted, which is fantastic. Obviously, I wanted to be a PT. I wanted the extra experience. I wanted to get to know people. I wanted to get to know people in the fitness industry, which has just been an absolute life-changing experience. I can't express to you how nice everybody is out here, how wonderful this place is. If I'm going to be honest, I never want to go home. I mean, it's looking like I might have to, unfortunately, when my visa runs up, because I'm not working in a I've been in touch with the government and they have said that a personal trainer is not a recognised required job. I suppose they don't need more PTs, they need more construction workers, they need more people in hospitality. So I've been looking at going back and being a bartender again, which is a fantastic way to meet people. I'm actually really excited to do that, hopefully extend my visa. And yeah, but you're able to do whatever you want to out here. Literally, whatever you want to do, you can walk into any job and they will hire you straight off the bat. It's fantastic, and they pay you so well. Granted, the expenses of living out here are quite expensive. Food's not as expensive as I thought it was going to be. I'm spending about the same amount of money on food that I am here than I was back home. But the money is unfathomably good. As a carpenter, you know, you could earn anywhere up to 240,000 a year, which is stupid money, you know. And then hospitality as well, I've been told 25-35 bucks an hour plus tips, which is fantastic. Again, amazing. So yeah, the amount of opportunity out here is unrealistic. You wouldn't believe it. And on top of that, obviously everybody's so friendly. Like, I've never been in a place where you can just walk around and everyone's just so nice to you. It's really nice to see. You know, I'm from England. I'm very used to people just walking around and being an absolute dick all the time, because they are. Unfortunately, that's a very stereotypical thing to say about England, but you know, 99% of people that you'll meet there are just horrible. Unless you're in a specific community. Like, I remember going to raves and clubs and stuff, and depending on where you go, people are either really, really overly friendly because you're all on the same vibe, or they're an asshole because you're in their town or you're in their place or their postcode. And I'm sure you've heard of the postcode wars in England. It's just it's silly. Why people want to be like that, I don't know. So Australia has been fantastic thus far. My working experience has been absolutely fantastic. I can't wait till summer comes around and actually go on some proper adventures. I'm going to go skydiving, shark cage diving. I'm going to go up to the Gold Coast and just see all the beautiful places that this country has to offer. And then, yeah, I have to wait and see what happens with my visa. But here are some of the things that I've been to see. So Bondi Beach was absolutely, I want to say, it's a bit touristy. Like, I've been to multiple beaches, and Bondi is the one that's very overplayed. Everyone's like, go to Bondi, and you see all the Bondi rescue people. Obviously, they made a TV show about it. It's very overplayed. There's a lot of tourists there. There's so many people there. If you go to one of the smaller beaches, like there's one called Maroubra, I hope I'm saying that right. I've been told off so many times for the way I pronounce things. In Coogee Coogee Beach as well. Again, they're much nicer beaches. They're much more like local based. You meet a lot more actual Aussies and like people who are just going surfing and stuff, and they're really cool. When you meet people like that, they're really, really cool people. Yeah, my surfing experience was horrible. The one surfing experience that I've had, because I didn't go out with an instructor. Silly me. I went out with just me and my friend. He was like, "Do this, do that," and then he left me, all on my lonesome. And then I got swept out, and I thought I was going to get rescued by the lifeguards, and it was an awful experience. So but it hasn't put me off. I've just realised that I need to go out with an instructor and actually learn how to surf. So yeah, pretty much that's what I've been doing for work. That's what I've just been keeping myself busy with, and that's the only thing as well. Like, I have just been throwing myself into work the past few weeks. Like the week I just had of 6 to 6 night shifts back to back. So 11 till 5, in the gym for 6, out the gym by 1, in bed by 2 or 3, again up Adam by 9 o'clock to get to work. It's killed me, and I think that's what's ruined my knee so much, is being on it all the time. I still trained through that week when I probably should have taken a deload week, which is what's coming up in next week's video. Please tune in for that. The deload weeks are extremely important, and I'm going to tell you why you should take them and why I didn't take one and why I should have taken one. But yeah, Australia's fantastic. If you haven't thought about coming out here, then think about coming out here. At the moment, it's the time to come. They're so desperate for people to come and work here. It's definitely the way forward. Definitely the way forward. It's been so good for my mental health being outside all the time. And I think that's probably the biggest thing, is you're not being stuck inside. Like, I have been stuck inside, don't get me wrong, because I've been so tired. But it's just better. Like, it's beautiful weather all the time, even if it is cold. Leading on from what I was talking about in the back garden, work-life balance. It's something that I have not struggled with, but everybody, from a video that I uploaded a couple of weeks ago, it might even have been last week, I said that everybody has the potential to be something great. You just need to work hard and sort your mental side of things out. Now, furthering on from that, a work-life balance becomes very, very important in this, and it leads to burnout. At the end of the day, you can work until you die, but if you don't enjoy life, and this is the other thing that I keep saying as well, we're here to enjoy life. You need to make sure that you take into account little things in and out that you do day to day that really make life worth living. It's very easy for people to sit on one side of the camera and just say, well, just work, just do this, just do that. But I promise you, if you were to be a fly on the wall in their life and find out actually how much downtime they have, how much they actually sit around and relax with their partners, how much they actually do, how much they farm off to other people, it's probably not as much work as people say that they do. Now, I took this literally, especially when I first started doing all of my business and all of this stuff. I took it quite literally. You need to work around the clock, you need to do this, you need to miss out on different experiences. And yes, sometimes you need to sacrifice going clubbing, going out, doing certain things so that you're able to work. But at the same time, you also need to be able to enjoy the life that you are living and enjoy opportunities when they come round, because a lot of opportunities only come round once in a lifetime, and you need to be able to make sure you can seize those opportunities when they come round. I have experienced burnout multiple times in my life, and I've just sort of gotten to another one very recently. I spoke about me being in the hostel earlier on in this video and how horrific it was, and how I was working just that 1 week, 6 days back to back, constant work, and it was absolutely horrific. And it was absolutely horrific. And that week pretty much burnt me out, but I didn't have the opportunity to stop working because I am in a position at the moment where if I don't work, I don't get any money. Like a lot of people in a lot of jobs, they don't work, they don't get money. So, you know, rather than like some people can go on holiday and go sick and they'll still get paid for being away from the office or being away from their work, whatever they're doing, I don't have that opportunity. If I stop working, I miss out on quite a bit of money as well, unfortunately. So I have had to keep going and just sort of be in this constant state of always being tired, always being a bit sluggish. Like I have highs, I have lows, but I'm just sort of constantly not doing very well at the moment. So I have come to take a week off of work, especially in the winter time out here. It's so quiet. I don't really see the reason why I shouldn't, but it's very much gotten to the point where I need to have that time off. Because I'm just so physically and mentally exhausted that I need to have that mental and physical benefit of taking some time for myself, to sort of taking a relaxation and just not worrying quite as much about all of the little things that I am doing. You know, I've got big decisions to make over the next few weeks about whether or not I stay in the country, whether or not I go on, you know, which visa I go and do, where I go and do my certain things. Like, there's so much coming up for me that I've got to think about that I need to take a step back from pushing hard every day, because I do. For, you know, I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't go to bed till like 9, 10 o'clock at night. I'm constantly working in those hours. You know, wake up at 4. I don't really want to give away the video that's going to come in the next couple of weeks, but you know, I am training 3 times a day at the moment for something that I'm always wanted to do. So I'm waking up, I'm training, I'm going to work, I'm training other people, then I'm training myself again in the middle of the day. I come home, I chill for an hour or two, do some online work, and then I'm back to training, and then I'm back to bed. You know, I'm burning the candle at both ends, like a lot of people would say. I'm really pushing hard because I want to, and it's just getting to the point where things are becoming a bit silly almost. Things are becoming a bit ridiculous because I don't have the capacity to be able to push. Everybody can push so hard for so long. You can only push so hard for so long. You know, I'm just coming to the point where the candle's being burnt out completely and utterly. So I'm glad to have, you know, decided to take some time off. You know, it's a goal to get to, and I'm really, really happy that it's going to come, and that I'm going to go and enjoy myself, and I'm going to make sure that you guys see what I'm going to do on my week off, because it's going to be a lot of just nothing, but it's good nothing, rather than just eating this, you know, because I'm a very routine person, I'm a very disciplined person. I eat the same foods day in, day out. You know, I'm very standard in what I do. You know, my training is the same week in, week out. My diet is the same week in, week out. So it's more of a mental break for me to eat different foods and not worry about nutrition quite as much, and not worry about my training quite as much. You know, I'm just gonna have fun with it. If I train, I train. If I don't, I don't. The only thing, you know, I'm only gonna go down to 2 training sessions a day and sort of really take some time for myself, which is going to be really, really nice. And I just need to sort of get that done, and then by doing this as well, this is sort of the point I'm trying to make, by having this time for myself and taking that break, you know, I'm then going to come back full force. You know, I'm going to be able to come back with I'm going to be well rested mentally and physically. You know, I can come back firing on all cylinders and push harder than I've ever pushed before. You know, I've taken a lot of marketing advice. I've been taking a lot of different people's opinions on where my online training should go and how I should really push all of that, and getting all that information while still learning so much at work, and still trying to talk my clients through their best options. Like, I'm just giving everything to everyone at the moment, and I feel like I've got no time for myself, if that makes sense. And that's not only is that a bit of a choice for myself, I have chosen, like I got invited out last night to go and have some drinks with people, and I chose not to because I just moved from place to place, and I was just very, very tired, and I just wanted to sort of get to bed and sort of take a nice relaxation. I still had training sessions to do, and so it's quite nice to be able to choose. But then again, like, I thought to myself, it's a money factor as well. Like, I am going to have a week off. I know I'm going to be going out drinking quite a lot in that week. Do I really just want to go out drinking tonight? Is there really much point? Would I really have that much fun? And that's the choice that I made, to stay in. And then I had a nice lie-in today and all of that. Where, I've made these decisions a lot in the past. Sunday is my only day where I don't have to train, and I don't have to get my steps in, and I don't worry about it. Sunday is my day to myself to sit down and do my work. And 9 times out of 10, if I go out on a Saturday night after having woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm absolutely ruined. The entire time I'm out as well, on that night out, I'm not enjoying myself. I just want to get home and get to bed. Like, I always leave early. It's just not massively worth it for me. So I decide not to do it. Basically, I just decide not to do it. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it. I'm just saying that you have to sort of look at your own life and think, okay, so prime example of this, the guy that I met out here, absolute brilliant guy, but he would go out 4 or 5 times in 1 week for no real reason, just because somebody would have invited him. And then the times that we had stuff planned for like weeks in advance, he would turn around to me and go, I haven't got that much money tonight. I can't do this and I can't do that because I've been out 4 times this week. And I'm like, but you knew we were going out tonight? And he's like, yeah. And he goes, you know that I only come out once every few weeks on a night that we plan so that we can enjoy it, and I plan my whole week around it. He's like, yeah. I'm like, why did you go out 5 times this week if you knew you were going to come out tonight? He goes, I don't know, I just, but he couldn't give me a straight answer. He didn't know really what he was talking about, and it really frustrates me when people have no almost willpower to say no to certain situations, like last night, like just going out for no reason. Like, I went out, like, so say I went out last night for no reason, apart from just to be with some friends. I would have had to buy a bottle of alcohol of some description. There's at least $70, right? On top of that, I'd have had to get over there. So even if I got the bus, that's an extra $5. If I got an Uber, it would have been about $30. And then I would have had to get an Uber home at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, something like that. So it would have been, all in all, $150, maybe $200 in one night, just to get from A to B and have a good time at someone's house. Okay. When I could save that $150. Now, to some, that's nothing. But to me, that's a whole other night of drinking when I have a whole week of drinking planned, if that makes sense. It's like, my friend from Adelaide's going to come down in the week that I'm off, and I'm staying, and we're just going to stay together. We've got loads of different food places we want to go try out, because, like, I haven't explored the city very much, like, in terms of enjoying myself, going out and seeing different clubs. Like, I've been clubbing a few times, I've been to some amazing events, but I've not been out and experienced some of the really nice things that Sydney has to offer. And like, there's a happy hour of wings and dirty fries that I want to go and try. There's a happy hour of unlimited sushi. There's Milky Lane. If you've never heard of Milky Lane, oh my goodness, Google it. Absolutely phenomenal burger joint. I think it's a burger joint. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a burger place, but it's like, it's filthy. It's like cholesterol on a plate, but these are the things that I'd rather save my money for and have something to look forward to as well. You know, as well, that really pushes me on with my diet. It really pushes me on with my training. Like, you have something to look forward to, you have something to work towards. So go and do it. You have a goal in place. The more money I can save for that particular week, the better. You know, I can still go out with all of those people on that week multiple times. You know, I'd rather do that when I'm nice and rested, recovered. I have time, I've got money. I've specifically got it for that week. I think that's better than just going out willy-nilly all the time. And as well, then, you know, if I am going out for that week, I'm not going to be wanting to sit down and work. Again, we're talking about the whole burnout situation. You have to sort of pick your times when you do your work and when you don't do your work. And like I say, for some people, it's really easy to sit behind a camera and go, yeah, you just work all the time. You just work from when you wake up until when you go to bed. And, you know, sometimes you can't even get sleep because you need to work. And it's like, nobody's work is that important. You need to make sure that you internally are doing the best that you can in order to do the best work you can. And if you aren't putting your heart and soul into your work, why are you doing it? You know, it's not going to be the best work you're going to do. And if you have an employer, they're going to notice that it's not the best work you can do. Even when I was working at the hostel, people would turn around to me and go, I had one complaint about me at the gym I'm working at, and I lost a client because of it, in terms of they were supposed to transfer from one trainer to another when they left, and they just said, I specifically don't want to work with James because I took her for one training session, and her feedback on me was, he's just not very upbeat. And I was a bit like, no, I'm not particularly, you know, when this feedback came back to me and I sat down with my boss and he goes, the feedback was you weren't very upbeat, you weren't very happy about the session. And I was like, no, if I'm going to be honest, I'm not, because I'm fucking knackered. I don't have the heart and energy to put into this place. And all of my current clients understand that, you know, but it's not, I still gave her a good training session and I still made sure that I was on point with my training, but I just wasn't very happy to do the training session because I was so tired, you know. And this is what I mean. If you're not going to put your heart and soul into that work, don't bother doing it. But yes, I hope you have a fantastic day and I shall see you next week.